Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to do our Do Now activity. We're going to be doing this every week, so make sure you pay attention. So the first thing is here I am on Schoology. We're going to watch this first video together, but the first thing to do is go to the Do Now site. So you're going to click on this link and it'll open the Do Now site. And here it is. So that's the first thing you need to have open. Second thing you need to have open is back in Schoology, and it's right here on this checklist. This checklist is something you're going to have every week when we do the Do Now activity. So I'm going to click. Here I am on the checklist. Now you're going to need to make a new copy of this checklist for every week. You're going to be handing it in to me. You should rename it for whatever week it is. So I'm going to rename this week 1. You can see like that. So you can see that we have all of these things to do. Now it seems like a lot, but it will probably take us 2 days to do this every single time. So the first thing is to read the Do Now page or topic of the week. We find that back over here on the Do Now. It's going to be the first one that's posted. So I can click on that. And I can see that here is my Do Now activity. So you're going to read through. There's a little bit of what you should do, the issue. There's an introduction to it. There's a resource. You need to make sure that you watch and or read and or listen to all the resources that they have. Okay, so that's the first thing on the checklist. So I'm going to go back to my checklist, and I did that, so I can, say yes, that's done, and then put the date that I did that. I also listened to any resources, yes, and my date. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a doc with the title of #DoNowWeekOf, and then I'm going to say week 1. So I'm going to say File, New, Document. Here I am. Like I said, I'm going to change the name to #DoNowWeek1. So right now you should, so we have a doc called Do Now Week 1. So if I go back to my checklist here, I did that. On the 16th. Okay. The next thing that you have to do is formulate your claim for the week's issue in my document. So how am I going to get that? I'm going to have that in my head after reading the Do Now activity on the website here. What are the real issues in your community that could use a superhero's help? What kind of action could you take to help your neighbors and classmates or improve your local landscape? That's what I'm going to get my claim from. I'm going to decide from that and everything I've read here what I want to be arguing about. I'm going to put that over here in my doc. So my claim is that our community could use a superhero that helps everyone get enough food every day. Spelled these things wrong. Okay, here I am back on my checklist. Yes. Okay. Now, the next thing you can see that you have to do is think of 1 to 3 reasons to support your claim and write that in your document. Now, where am I going to get those reasons? I can get those reasons from a lot of places. I can get them from my head. I can get them from research. You can see that the next thing that we want to do is to do research. I can just get them from a lot of places. I can think that I'm probably going to have to be doing some research about children who don't have enough food to eat, maybe in Minnesota. So maybe I'm going to open a new tab here as it's thinking. Here's my new tab, and on my new tab, I'm going to put something about children in Minnesota living in poverty, maybe. Here's a foundation that's minneapolis.org. I think that might be a good place to go and get some help. So here's from 2009 to 2011, 33% of children lived in poverty. I think that would be a good thing to have. So I'm going to take that little fact here. I'm going to put that in my outline doc. So my reason would be many children live in poverty. My evidence would be, got to pause my video here, people. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to put my evidence here. I'm going to paste that in there. Want to make sure I get my source, so I'm going to copy paste my source in there. Okay. Now, you might want to do this. The more reasons you have and the more evidence you have, obviously the stronger your argument is going to be. The first time we do this, you're probably not going to have more than one reason and one piece of evidence. So what do? I'm going to go back to my checklist then. Yes, I did that. Did it on the 16th. I got research. I looked for it. I did a web search. I made sure it was reliable and credible. I put that into my argument there, and I had some links. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I need to write that as an argument that I'm going to be able to tweet out. So I'm going to say, I believe that our community could use a superhero. This superhero should help make sure that everyone gets enough food every day. Now I need to connect that to my reason. I believe this is because many children live in poverty. Then I'm going to put my quote in there. For example, or I don't like for example, that's not very good. This is really an example. I'm going to say the Minneapolis Foundation says that 33% of children in Minneapolis, oh wait, I got to quote it right. 33% of children in Minneapolis live in poverty. Okay, quote that, and then I want to put my link. I'm going to take that link because, right, you got to show people your evidence. Let me fix poverty. I'm going to put my link right here. If you highlight something and then do Control-K, you can put your link right there. In poverty. Okay. So I got my little tiny argument, so I can go back to my checklist. Okay, now I have to check my language and share it with some friends, as well as Karen. So the main thing, guys, oh, wait, gotta check. Okay, gotta check. So this is where you're going to be, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about how you are going to post this, whether you're going to, if it's 140 characters that you can post on Twitter, whether you're going to post it on the Do Now website, or whether we're going to make a quick link to your actual argument that then you can post on Twitter if it's more than 140 characters. So that's kind of how we are doing the first part of the Do Now activity.